Hey there guys. So I just want to make a really quick video today and describe an experience that I had last night with you guys. The last video I made must have really struck a chord. I have been receiving, as a YouTuber and someone with a channel, you do get, haters and bullies and hate videos made about you and people who didn't get what they wanted from you and trying to diminish you and I mean, just, you know what I'm saying. It's across the board. I think it happens to everybody on here. And, that video after my last video, it was just like really amped up like that. And it was difficult. I had difficulty with it for a moment. I had this moment where I'm like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to share my journey. I don't have to be on here opening myself up to this kind of criticism and what seems to me sometimes like paranoid schizophrenia and, crazy a little bit. And I just sort of, I guess I took it in a little bit for a moment. And I'm out with my friends last night and we're all sitting around this table and I'm expressing, my struggle. And they're all like, you really ought to quit YouTube. You really ought to just shut this channel down and get out of there. And they really had me convinced that this wasn't healthy for me. This wasn't right for me. That I didn't have to be subjecting myself to that kind of feedback. And at some point in the night, I was like, you know what? You're right. When I get home tonight, I'm shutting it down. I'm done. And so I got home and I sat down on the couch and I opened up YouTube and I'm looking at it and there's a video posted by Astral and it's got my name on it and I'm like, whoa, what is this? And I open it and I look at it and it's beautiful. It's like so beautiful. They took my words from like the center of the last video I made and put it to these graphics and that so beautifully expressed what I was saying that I was struck. I was like, oh my gosh, they understand me. They understand what I'm saying flawlessly. And they spent this time making this. So clearly it meant something to them to take the trouble and the time to put it together. And it was really beautiful. I watched it several times and, of course, commented to let them know, like, you caught me in a moment of some really intense struggle with my channel, and you brought this in. I mean, talk about timing on that one. At first, I sort of broke down and released, all that tension that I had taken on with all the craziness. And just blah, and had a moment, and then just started feeling so grateful. I'm like, well, this has me sort of second guessing whether it's right for me to go or not. How do I make this work for myself? I felt confused. And then somebody else had left a comment saying that they found me through a channel called Lavette, and I'm like, I'm going to go over and look at this channel. I don't know it. And there's Lavette. Lavette's just made this video about what it's like to share information like this on YouTube and what comes at you, the bullies, the death threats, the stalkers, the haters, it's the full gambit. And I've had some of this like real life, real time with YouTubers as well. And I'm like, wow. And she's like, you got to have a thick skin. You can't let them stop you. That's the whole point of it, is that they're trying to get you to stop. And then that struck me too. It was like these levels of like, wow, why am I all of a sudden hearing this? Right when I decided it's done, I'm over it. This comes in. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. And by the way, she does this great video about NPCs with a completely different viewpoint that I very much appreciated. Oh, because everything's so backward and upside down. We really do have to flip things around and look at them. So thank you, Lavette, for your videos. And so then I sat with that for a little bit. And then all of a sudden in my feed comes this guy talking about how to deal with negative people and negative energy when things like that are coming at you, and you know, just how to get through it and how to manage it. And I'm sitting and listening to that, and I'm like, oh, I can manage this. I can manage this. I know how to manage it. You know what? None of that has anything to do with me. That's how I'm going to manage it. You know, if you come at me with this stuff, just know that for me, I'm aware that that's you and not me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. So, you know, and I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to read those comments, and I'm not going to listen to what's being said in that other arena. It's just none of my business. That's where they're at, and I respect that that's where they're at. That's their process, and I'm in my process. So that's how I'm going to deal with YouTube from now on, is just sort of a bloop, like, you know, water running over my skin. It's like, okay, you know, they felt the need to come at me with that stuff, and I feel the need to allow it to go over there and move on. And so I can remain in my center and to continue to share with you guys my journey. And I sort of had the analogy of YouTube being like this hallway that you walk down, and there's all these wonderful people who are coming up and saying, thank you. I understand you. This meant something to me, or this helped me in some way, or I'm not going to hurt animals anymore because of what you said. That's so worth it. That's so worth it. But then every 10 or 12 people, you know, you get like punched in the face or stabbed in the back. And so how do we manage that? So I felt like last night I got this very swift, quick boost from these 3 different people on exactly how to manage and deal with that. And I am so grateful. I have just shifted that, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not scared. I'm safe. You can't hurt me. I'm fine. I'm not scared of any of these people. I was raised by a full-blown narcissistic person, and I was never scared of that person. So, and I've spoken up to that my whole life and defended my innocence. So why stop now? So thank you, Astral being, from the bottom of my heart. You are a very important part of my journey, and I love you. And I'm going to post the video that they made in the description below. I'm going to post Lavette's channel as well, because she just seems like a real human, you know, trying to get through the noise of YouTube. And YouTube is controlled opposition, you guys. I'm seeing the divisiveness and stuff in it more and more, and from channels that you might think that you trust. So I'm just saying, use your heart radar. If it feels scary at all, just run it through there and know that, oh, that's not for me. That's got nothing to do with me. That's not for me. I'm moving on. And I hope that we can all start to come to a better place on here where we can continue to share without the constant investigation of every little nuance of each other. You know, there's a world of beautiful humans here that have been kept divided from each other on many different fronts. And, you know, we don't have to entertain that. And we have a choice. And my choice today is to keep talking to you guys, and to keep loving, and to keep learning, and to keep sharing. And I'm just so grateful for everybody who feeds that back to me. When you leave me comments and share with me your process of this, it keeps me going. It means everything to me on this front. So thank you to everybody who gives me that kind of feedback, or who's willing to respectfully converse with me about the details of things. I don't need people to agree with me, but I'm not going to accept the disrespect. I'm just going to block it and remove it. I'm not going to respond to it. I'm not going to, it's not going to get me. It's like, boop, 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 boop. Like gardening. You have to be like, oh, there's a rock. So I feel strong. I feel good. I feel able. And Astral being, you had a lot to do with that. So I love you all. I hope you have a great day.